Hello, good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello, everybody. I know it has been a while. It has been a while, but thank you for sticking with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give it a few minutes and see who comes on live. Let's see who joins. Hope everybody is having a great day. I hope you all are having a really good day. I had a busy day. I hope you had a great day. If you didn't have a good day, I hope tomorrow is a better day for you. Good evening. Good evening. I am Shantae Charles. Welcome to Thrive with Shantae. I am in North Dakota. Thank you for tuning in. Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? I am in North Dakota. I know it has been a while, but life's been lifing over here. Sometimes life throws you some unexpected curveballs. Life can throw you some unexpected curveballs. We're just gonna wait before we get into it. I hope life has been good to you guys. I hope you have been doing well. I hope everything has been going for good. I know life has been, things have been crazy. The economy is all over the place. They say we're not in a recession. Meanwhile, people are getting laid off by the hundreds and thousands every day, month after month. um, Price of everything is up. They claim the price is going down, but I can't tell. I can't tell where the price is going down on anything. Price still looks high to me, but we're gonna get through it. Life, we can get through it. We don't have to be taken under by what is going on in life. We can still thrive. I'm a firm believer that although things may be rocky in the economy, that we can still thrive. If you have studied history or know anything about history, when there is a financial crisis, someone is getting rich. Someone is going to get rich. You don't have to end up in poverty. We just have to know how to pivot and be prepared for when opportunity presents itself. We have to be in tune to what's going on, not burying our head in the sand and being clueless. Being clueless, but we have to know how to pivot. I would say that if you are in consumer debt, do your best to get out of consumer debt so you have more money available. In the event if you lose your job, you are not taken under because you have a high price car note, then you have your rent, you have a whole bunch of credit card bills. Do your best to get out of consumer debt. Build your emergency fund. Build an emergency fund. You may be saying, well, hey, I'm living paycheck to paycheck right now, not able to make it. I would say take a look around your house and see what you can sell. Sell, baby, sell. See what it is that you're not using and what you can sell to help build your emergency fund. You don't want to be stuck in the event that something goes wrong. Life is gonna life. I recently, a few weeks ago, my husband and I had to get some work done to our truck, get a tire replaced. Oh my God, the tire was it was nothing short of a miracle that I did not have an accident. When I got out and looked at the tire, make a long story short, there were no lugs on the tire. Takes 5 lugs, but there was not one lug on the tire. And um, it messed up the wheel. The wheel was messed up. Cost us $805. It would have been $805, but when I went to pick the truck up, I made a little joke saying to the the guy in the shop, I said, I heard you guys are giving the I Survived Winters in North Dakota discount. And he got a chuckle out of it, and I chuckled. And he said, no, not really, but I'm going to take $5 off. I'm going to take $5 off and give you a free car wash. Now, $5 was not a lot, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. So tell me where you're watching from. I am in North Dakota. Thank God it has finally started to warm up here. All of the snow has melted. I am very grateful for that we have no, thank God. So I wanted to come on and talk about resetting and refocusing. We are coming up to the second half of the second quarter of this year. At the beginning of the year, many of us, we do New Year's resolutions. We will, excuse me, create a vision board. And by this time of the year, a lot of us have uh, gotten away from, excuse me, whatever it is that we said we were going to do. We've forgotten all about, or we haven't forgotten about it, but we haven't stuck to what it is that we said that we wanted to do. And we just are no longer working on our vision, our goals, our aspiration, because something may have happened. Life may have life and got you a little sidetracked. I know I have not been on YouTube in a while. We had sickness in my family, then we got over it. Then my third son, he was sick again, had a little bout with pneumonia. I had some issues going on. So I was not posting videos on a regular like I normally was doing. I have not been live in I don't know how long. But I did not let that setback deter me. Even though I have not been live in weeks, probably a month or so now, excuse me, and I had not posted a video in a while. Yesterday was the first time I posted a video in I don't know how long. It was the first time I posted a video. But I did not let that deter me. I started to get a little discouraged. You get these thoughts in your mind like, hey, when you're trying to restart something. But I did not let that deter me. I was determined that, hey, my goal is to help 100 people make six figures this year. And in order to see my goal come to light, I have to push forward. Although I had a setback, I cannot let that say, oh, forget about it and what have you. No, someone is waiting on me to tell my story, to share my story, to give them hope and inspiration so that they can change their lives the same way I changed my life. Someone is waiting on you. It may not be, a stranger on YouTube, on Facebook, on social media. It may be someone in your family. It may be your own children. They're waiting for you to show up and do the thing that you said that you wanted to do. You said you want to be a homeowner. Okay, are you working on getting your credit together? Are you working on getting out of consumer debt? Are you working on getting the down payment? Have you looked into any programs that will give you down payment assistance? Have you figured out how much loan you will qualify for? Someone is waiting for you. And just because you have had a setback, it may have been a minor setback or a major setback. It doesn't mean to completely throw away your dreams, goals, and aspiration. Dust that off. Do you have a vision for your life? Do you have a vision for your life? A lot of times we create these vision boards and we just make pictures on them and what have you. But have you actually set a time to sit down and think about, or to write out, how do you make these things on your vision come to life? Because just hoping for it is not going to get it. Faith without works is dead. So although you have a vision, you have to figure out, how do you make this vision come to life? How do you make this vision come to life? Otherwise, you're just going to be disappointed when the end of the year comes, or you are 6 months into the year and you say, oh, I wanted to do this, but it did not happen. See, a lot of people teach creating a vision board. That's all well and good, but there's more to it than creating a vision board. And I'm a firm believer that when you create a vision board or you have a vision for your life, because you don't want to just create a vision board, you want to write the vision down for your life. But when you have a vision for your life, you want to also figure out, okay, how do I make this vision my reality? How do I make it come to light? What do I have to do to make this vision my reality, the life that I'm actually living, so that it is no longer just a vision? A lot of people aren't teaching that. They're like, oh, create a vision board and just manifest. Well, talking about manifesting ain't gonna get you anything. Oh, I manifested this. Come on, that's just a new hype. How did you manifest it? By putting in the work. You want to be a homeowner? Okay, what do you got to do to become a homeowner? Okay, you want to start a business? Okay, what's the first step? What type of business do you want to start? And what is the first step to starting this business? Do you have your EIN? Are you starting a S corp? Are you doing a regular LLC? What are you doing? Are there any laws and regulations in the state that you live in or the state that you're going to be doing business in for the type of business that you're going to be starting? You got to have a plan. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. And when things go wrong or life happens, because life is going to happen. Life is going to happen. Don't just say, oh, well, it wasn't meant to be. Excuse me. Oh, well, it wasn't meant to be. No, that's not true. Baby, life just happens. Things are going to go wrong. But you dust yourself off and you start again. You start again. Before my husband and I purchased our home, we were $30,000 in debt. And we said, before we purchased a home, we were going to get out of consumer debt. So the only thing we had to worry about paying each month, not having a lot of bills hanging over our head, would be our mortgage. Of course, you have your everyday expenses that you're never gonna get rid of unless you go live off the grid somewhere, your light bill, your internet, gas, those kind of things. But we did not want a car note. We did not want a whole bunch of credit card debt, consumer debt. So we got out of debt. It took us 3 years, but we did it. We had some setbacks because his mother became ill and he was taking care of her financially. But we remember why we wanted to get out of debt and we stuck to it. We had to reevaluate. We had to do some things different. First, we were doing the snowball effect. We were doing avalanche. Then we figured out, hey, that does not work for us because, okay, it feels like we're just working to pay bills. So then we went to another method. We went to another we went to another method and we figured out what worked for us. But we stuck to the plan of getting out of debt. And once we got out of debt, we purchased a home. We purchased a home. We decided, hey, we're not going to purchase a home at the top of what the bank says we qualify for. How much can we afford comfortably? How much can my husband afford to pay and pay on his own? So in the event that if he loses his job, my income can cover the mortgage and he purchased the home in his name and his credit. I am on the deed. Isaiah and Pamela ain't raised no fool. I am on the deed. He purchased the home in his name, his credit, and our investment property we purchased with my credit. We figured all these things out and we had some setbacks, but we kept pushing forward. You have to keep pushing forward. You may need to reset and refocus. It doesn't mean that it's over. You still have time. The year is not halfway over. And even if we were 6 months into the year, so what? As long as you keep going, it doesn't matter. Don't give up on your dreams. And if you have not gotten started because you're waiting for the perfect time, there is not going to be a perfect time. There is no perfect time. The perfect time is now. The perfect time is now. Now is better than someday. You don't want to wait till someday, because when you're waiting for the perfect time, you're waiting for the perfect day, you steady saying someday, someday, someday. Someday is never going to come. And you're going to wake up and you're going to find yourself old, and you're going to be living in regret, singing the wish I woulda, coulda story, and depressed and sad because you did not step out and do the things that you said you wanted to do. We don't want to wait till we're in old age and you end up in regret. Don't do it. Don't do it. And no, you may not have all the answers and some things may go wrong. That's life. That's life. It doesn't matter who you are. Life is not going to be perfect. Things are going to go wrong. But what do? You dust yourself off. You reevaluate and you keep pressing forward. You keep pressing forward. I could have said, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna go back on YouTube. I've been gone a month or so. The last video or two I posted, it didn't get that much traction. Oh, somebody's watching. No, it may not be have gotten as much traction as I would have liked because of the outright algorithm or whoever. But somebody's gonna see this video. Somebody's gonna see the videos that I'm watching, and it's gonna help somebody. It's going to help somebody. And eventually, the goal that I have will come to fruition. The goal that I have will come to fruition. It's going to help me, and I'm helping someone else. I want to ask you, what is one thing that you have been delaying? What is one thing that you have failed to get started on? Or maybe you started and you got sidetracked, life happened, or something went wrong, and you didn't restart. You just said, oh, the heck with it. Or maybe it didn't go as planned. Maybe you gave it your best shot, but it didn't go as planned. So you just said, oh, the heck with it. And you um, just threw it all away. Just because something didn't work out doesn't mean it wasn't meant to be. You may need to do it a different way. You may need to come up with a different strategy. You may need to come up with a different strategy. And some things take time. Success does not happen overnight. Success doesn't happen overnight. And remember your why. Remember your why. For whatever it is that you're doing in life, you have on your vision board or you want to do, why? Why? When you remember your why, it's going to help you push forward. If you don't have a why, write down why. Why do you want a specific thing? So that when lives and things go wrong, you refer to that why. And it's going to help you continue to push forward. It's going to motivate you on the days when life gets hard and you feel like throwing in the towel. You feel like just not even giving it another shot. Remember your why. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. You can do this. You got this. You got this. You can do this. And focus. Don't let the cares of life or what's going on in society get you off track. Focus. Don't get so caught up on what's going on social media, looking at other people's lives and relationship goals and this and that, and I'm not able to do that. Forget about that. You better focus on your own life and what you got going. I just saw a bunch of clips, news clips or whatever, on people that went to Coachella and they spent all this money to go to Coachella. And I said, oh, this is very expensive to go to Coachella. Can you believe that 60% of the people who went to Coachella went on a buy now, pay later plan? They didn't even have the money to really afford to go to Coachella, but they went anyway. And I thought about all the young people who probably would have liked to go to Coachella, but they did not go because they didn't have the money, they couldn't afford it, and for whatever reason they just didn't go. But they looked at all the influencers online talking about Coachella, and I spent $100 on two tacos and a lemonade or what have you, and they're sitting up and they're envying those people. I thought about all the people, the mostly young people, 30 and younger. They look at other people's lives and they're like, oh, they're living so great, and I'm stuck at home with my parents. And what? Stop focusing on other people. Stop focusing on whatever those people got going on, because you don't know what they did to get what they got. They went to Coachella or whatever the case may be. They're going on vacation here and there. First of all, we got a lot of scammers. You don't know if they stole credit cards to pay for that. And even if they didn't, you don't know if they went in debt to get it. You don't, maybe they didn't go in debt to go on the trip or to go to Coachella. But you don't know what hard work, time, and effort they put in to be able to afford to do the thing that they did. And if you want those things in life, figure out a way to get it what it is that you want, but don't focus on what somebody else got going on. Don't spend so much time focusing on what someone else got going on, because you're going to miss life. You're going to miss your moment while you're focusing on and envying what somebody else got going on. Focus on your own life. Focus on how you improve your own life. Focus on how you can improve your own life. Quit worrying about what social media got going on, because half the stuff on social media is not even real. It's not real. It's a facade. It's fake. Back in the day, they used to say they're perpetrating a fraud. It's not real. Focus on how you can better your own life. So refocus on your vision, refocus on your goals. If you don't have any goals, sit down and think about where you want your life to be in the next 2, 3, 5 years. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself doing the same thing in the same place. But you need goals. You need goals. Figure out how do you achieve the goals that you have, because just writing a goal or just creating a vision board is not going to get it. It's not going to get it. You have to have a plan on how to obtain everything that you have. Now, one of the things I did is I put my vision board on my phone, and my vision board is on my phone because every time I open my phone or I look at my phone, it's a reminder of the things that I want in life. But along with having the vision board on my phone, I also broke down the steps of how am I going to obtain these things that I want. Because it's not hocus pocus. It's not just saying I'm going to manifest these things. That's not how it works. And then we need to clear the clutter in our mind. Clear the clutter in your mind. Again, detox from social media. Stop worrying about what other people got going on, and oh, they're living so great and what have you. Detox from social media. Social media will have you feeling bad about your life when you should be grateful. I mean, if you're not homeless, or even if you may have at this point maybe living with someone, at least you're not living in your car or down at the homeless shelter. But learn to be grateful for whatever it is that you already have in life. But clear the clutter in your mind, clear the clutter in your head, the noise in your head. Sit, be quiet, think of what you're grateful for, and refocus on how to move forward on what it is that you want in life. Over the next 3 days, sit down and think about how you can refocus. How can you refocus your life? How can you refocus on the things that are important to you, or the things that you want to achieve in life? You may need to declutter your environment. You know, for me, I can't deal with a whole bunch of clutter. It gives me anxiety. I just can't function well. I can't focus. It just overwhelms me. So I need a clear space to work. Now my desk sometimes with paper and bills and things that could be a little, but overall I need my environment, my home, and to be clutter free so that I can focus, I can have a clear mind. You may need to declutter so that your mind can be clear. So I just wanted to come on and give some tips and to talk about reset and refocus. It's not too late. Yes, we're in April. We're entering into the second part of the second quarter. Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. But it is not too late. It's not too late. You know, I even for myself, I've been on this thing to journey to lose weight because you wouldn't believe I used to be so skinny back in the day. Like, and if somebody would have told me I would be the weight that I am now, I probably would have cussed them out, before I came to know Jesus. I would have been like, that's a lie. That's a lie. Never. But I've been struggling with, and I know all the things to do. I know that if I juice, if I do intermittent fasting, and if I reduce the amount of meat that I eat, I know that I will lose weight. I know that in a matter of a week or so, week and a half at the most, I'll no longer need blood pressure medication. But for some reason, I just keep having the hardest time this time around with staying focused on that and being diligent. But I had to tell myself that even after the Easter holiday, which was a few days ago. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for catching the to catch the replay. Thank you. It will be up. Um, Even with the Easter holiday, my family had ham. I knew I wasn't gonna have ham, so I took my fish and what have you. And I had to tell myself, it's okay, Shantae, just restart. But I also had to tell myself and be honest with myself and say, am I really committed to losing weight? I say I want to lose weight. I say I want to be off of blood pressure medication. But am I lying to myself? Because when I wanted to get out of debt, I was going ham on getting out of, maybe I shouldn't say going ham, but I was like diligent about getting out of debt. We took our kids out of, did we take them out of swimming? No, we didn't take them out of swimming. We took them out of taekwondo. We took them on a basketball. We were in a no thrills, no frills house. It was the bare minimum for a long period of time because we were like, we're gonna get out of debt. We got to get out of debt, and is no if and buts about it. And we were serious, and I was serious about getting out of debt. And the Lord said to me, you got to be as serious about getting off of blood pressure medication and losing weight as you were about getting out of debt. And it dawned on me that, hey, you want to get off of this, but you don't really want to do the work. So I had to tell myself, okay, Shantae, get it together. You know what to do, but you got to do the work. I have to do the work. I have to hold myself accountable. As my mother says, when I was younger, when certain things I would say or whatever. My mother used to say, "Well, how bad do you want it, or are you just talking about it? And when things don't go right, you just gonna buckle and not push for it. How bad do you want it?" I have to ask myself, how bad do I want it? How bad do I want it? And that's for all of us. When we want a change in life, inflation is high. We got a certain person on TV talking about prices coming down. I can't tell. I can't tell. Then we got the tariffs that's making prices go up even more. And then we got the job layoffs. Thank God my husband hasn't gotten laid off. We just living in uncertain times. Uncertain times. But we have to be determined that although there's madness in the land, financial chaos, financial uncertainty, We are going to thrive in this season because let me tell you, in every financial crisis, if you go back and study history, in every financial crisis, someone has prospered. Someone has taken advantage of opportunity that has presented itself when there's a financial crisis. Why can't that be you and I? Because, unfortunate as it may be, someone's going to lose their home to foreclosure because they're going to lose their job and they only have one stream of income. Or if they're married, they purchased a home using both incomes. They purchased the home using both incomes that's coming into the household instead of buying the home using just, I'm sorry, my kids are cutting up in the background. Instead of just using one income. See, when my husband and I purchased our home, we decided, hey, we're going to purchase on just his income, just his credit. And then when we buy an investment property, we'll purchase it using my income and my credit. We weren't all hyped up about we got to buy a new home and mm-mm, mm-mm. Because I had sleepless nights before when I owned a home before I got married. And I said, well, next time I buy a home, I'm going to do things a little bit different. But we have to be determined that we're going to thrive in this season. We are not going to go under financially, and that we're going to prepare ourselves for whatever may come. How do we prepare ourselves? You get more than one stream of income. People say, oh, well, entrepreneurship isn't for everybody. No, it is not. It is not for everybody, but ownership is for everyone. You can buy an investment property, you can rent it out. If you live here in America, there's a thing called Section 8. Now, people complain about Section 8, this and that. And no, I don't think anybody should be on Section 8 that is able-bodied working and able-bodied and you just don't want to work and you're not handicapped. There's nothing wrong with you. And I don't believe that you should be on Section 8 for 10 years. I think that if you're on Section 8, there should be a limit. Give somebody else a chance to have a helping hand up. But we live in a country that has programs and services for the I don't even like to say underprivileged because sometimes people are underprivileged just to their own doing because they just don't want to get out there and work. But for people that are low income, and Section 8, it will pay you to put your property on Section 8. Oh, well, they're going to tear up my property. Where you do inspections, do quarterly inspections. Do quarterly inspections to make sure that your property isn't tearing up, getting tore up. You don't have to buy a property where you live. For instance, New York is very expensive and they have um, extremely lenient tenant laws where someone can be living in your property for years and not pay rent and they haven't been evicted yet. Well, maybe you don't want to buy a property in New York as an investment property. Buy somewhere else where it's less expensive, where you can evict somebody easier when they don't pay the rent on time, that it's not going to take forever to get to eviction court. But what I'm saying is, there is a way to make money in addition to your job. We don't want to get caught with just one source of income. It is financial. It's just you're playing Russian roulette with your finances because you never know what tomorrow may hold. You never know what tomorrow may hold. Monetize your genius. We all know something that we know and do that we can package to sell to someone else. We all have a skill, we all have a talent that we can monetize and sell to someone else. Monetize your genius. You don't have to be great at it, you just have to be better than the person who you're servicing, who you're helping. You just have to be better than them. And over time, the more consistent you are at it, you will perfect it. You'll get better and better as time goes by. But monetize your genius. You have to have more than one source of income. Nowadays, depending on where you live, because the cost of living is high in certain places, depending on where you live, you need more than one source of income just to make ends meet. So why not, when you get off from work, you work a 9 to 5 or 8 hours out of the day, take an extra 3 hours when you get home, 3 or 4 days out of the week, and start a business. Start a side hustle that you turn into a business that will give you an additional stream of income. So, in the event that if your job lays off, you're not up at night pacing the floor, wondering how you're going to keep the lights on, how you're going to feed your children. In the description box, there's a link where you can download the free Monetize Your Genius Starter Checklist. That checklist is absolutely free, no strings attached. It is a checklist that's going to help you figure out what it is that you already know and do that you can monetize. Again, it's absolutely free. It's in the description box. Click the link in the descriptions box and you can get it from there. On next week on the 28th, I am starting the Monetize Your Genius 6-day challenge. It starts on the 28th. Monetize Your Genius 6-day challenge. It is a 6-day challenge. It's going to walk you through how to monetize what you already know, how to package it, how to figure out what you already know and do, and how to package it so that you can monetize your genius to begin getting an additional source of income. Now, normally it's $47, but if you use the code THRIVE, you'll be able to get 20% off. Also, if you share the link with someone else and they purchase it, you'll get 20%. You'll get 20% of the purchase. I mean, $37 is a small investment to help secure your financial future. I think that is inexpensive. Now, when I was making $12 an hour and my husband got laid off from his job, if I could make a $37 investment to help change my financial situation around, I would have gladly paid that $37. Excuse me. When I was making $12 an hour and my husband got laid off from his job, I did not have time to go back to college to get a degree and wait to see if somebody would hire me, if the information I learned was still relevant for the current job market. I didn't have time to go get another certification. I needed money, and I needed money as soon as possible. I didn't have time to go get another degree. So I took my $12 skill as a certified nursing assistant and I started my own business. I started a non-medical in-home care agency. I went from $12 an hour on food stamps, Medicaid, child care assistance to making over six figures, 15 employees. Then once I figured out what I was doing, I started teaching other women how to start a non-medical in-home care agency. One of my mentees has 30 employees and it has generated over $1 million in revenue. My point is, we know something that we can monetize and sell to other people. It may be something that you already do on your job day to day that you can take it and turn it into a business. Non-medical home care may not be for you. It is not for everyone. It is not for everyone. But again, you have a skill, you have a talent that you can monetize that can help change your financial situation. We all have something that we know and do that can help change our financial situation. We just have to tap into what that thing is. So click the link and get your free download of the Monetize Your Genius Starter Checklist. And also join the Monetize Your Genius 6-day challenge. Again, it's normally $47, but if you use the code Thrive, you will get if you use the code Thrive, you will get 20% off. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Until next time, be blessed. Have a prosperous future. And remember, you got this. You don't have to go down. You don't have to go down financially. You can thrive. Until next time, have a good night.